Get yourself a glass of water if you haven't got one already. And there's a candle beside you. I'd like you to settle in and be present in the moment. And at this moment, I will pass it over to our beautiful host, Inken.
Thank you very much. Warm welcome, beautiful people. It's you time. It's, let us call it Self-Care Sunday moment. And yeah, the Lightwear Collective is very, very happy to have you all with us in this moment. My name is Inken, and from my heart, I love to be one of your hosts of the Lightwear Collective. We are your safe space of empowerment every Sunday at the same time. And we are grateful for all the beautiful regular members that have been with us for such a long time. And we are really happy, like today, to see new faces with us. We welcome you with open hearts and open arms. And our session today, honestly, guys, I'm very excited and grateful for this session today because, like, you know, every session of the Lightwears is unique because we have really unique guides. Today's session is so special because it's guided by one of our core members. I would say by, yeah, one of the most important members. And I will never forget in the beginning when I called Master Trent in to support me for one meditation, and he stepped up. And together with our other core members, we planted the seed, what is today the Lightwear Collective. And yeah, with our hearts, every Sunday, we have showed up and we have held a safe space for all of you. And we have received so much in these last more than 2.5 years from all of you. And we have grown in a very organic way with flow and ease, never with pressure. It was always like light and beautiful to let this space grow. So Trent and me, we have, I would say, a unique bond through our healing stories because we both kind of found our way to the healing, our path, and found powerful tools that helped us transform and to be able to live today as a healthy, happy soul, inspiring others, is part of our mission. And we do this unconditionally. And for me, Trent is really a huge inspiration and such a beautiful, amazing soul that I'm deeply grateful to have in my life. And who doesn't know him? And you will experience his guidance today. You will understand why I'm talking in this way about him. Because for me, he's very gifted. He's very talented, and I love that he's touching all of you today deeply and is inspiring all of you today and giving you a great path to follow so you can really help yourself through his inspiration. Thank you so much. Trent, open arms, we are yours. Take it away.
My goodness, what an introduction. I mean, I'm going to have to live up to that now. My goodness. But
you know me, I always speak from my heart, you know, it just flows.
No, I'm humbled and I'm super grateful, and that couldn't have been a better segue as far as talking about your healing journey and mine, and then sharing that with everybody today, because that is my intention, is that that everybody gets something, you know, to whether they are doing great, whether they're struggling in the darkest of places, that there's something that they can take away from today. As I, you know, get a little vulnerable and share, you know, where I've come from, you know, what got me to back to life. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Guys, before we dive into the PowerPoint, I want to take just a minute to get present. So we're going to do a meditation at the end of the session, and I'm going to do a brief presentation before. So before we jump into that, let's get on the same page. Let's get tuned in. So just real quick, you can go ahead and close your eyes. Let your feet touch the ground if that's possible. Go ahead and take a deep breath. And let it go. And anything that you are taking with you into this session, can you let it go for now? Can you release? Can you allow yourself to be more present? Can you allow yourself to open up to this moment, to bring your attention to the here and now, lighter, easier, relaxed in body, but attentive in mind. Allowing yourself, again, to be here and now, more and more present, more and more ready, available to hear what it is that your soul wants to hear today. Feeling better, feeling lighter, feeling present. Okay, you can go ahead and open your eyes. I don't want you to go bliss out just yet, just to be more present for right now. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you. Okay. So today we are talking about the path of the wounded healer. And the intention today is to have an idea of what that means, what that is, to explore the 3 keys to self-healing. So again, it's going to seem almost too simple what we're talking about today. You know, I thought about it a whole lot this past week when I was making this, and I thought, you know what, I could get real deep and into a lot of details, but I thought, you know what, I want people to feel me today. I want you to, when I'm talking to you and telling my story, I want you to feel it, and I want you to relate in your life and say, hey, you know, this could be me, or this is me in this scenario, and make it personal to you. Because these 3 keys are so simple and so easy, it's easy to, again, overlook it or kind of take it lightly. But if you really hear the message in it, I think it can be, it's super transformative. It can make a big impact to you and the lives of the people that you love. The other intention is to experience a powerful meditation. So other than the 3 keys to self-healing, the meditation that I started doing during this time of challenge was also a huge key, and I'm going to share that. And then I also just want to note that, guys, nothing I'm saying today is medical advice. I'm not a doctor. This is not intended to be medical advice. Again, I want it to be so common sense, right? We're talking more common sense than we are, you know, doctor authority and that kind of thing. You know, work with your doctor if you're going through a health issue. Work in harmony, work in tandem as necessary. But take the common sense that I'm going to talk to you today, because again, that's what's missing too often in our culture today. Okay, so I'm going to start us with a story. So once upon a time in China, this was in 2012, and I went to China first in 2011. I had a fitness business all throughout my 20s, and I shut it down so I could travel the world. I was just, I had made it to where I was doing everything, and I was getting burned out being a business owner. And so I figured out a way to get a visa to China, which was through teaching English the first time anyway. And so I went on a grand adventure. And I know, like, people don't take selfies and stuff when they're sick. I mean, I don't really anyway. So these are the closest pictures I could find right before I got sick, or right at the beginning of it. So like in the picture on the right, I think I just coughed, and you can see like how uncomfortable I am. And then on the one on the left, like you could see in my eyes, it's just, you can see like I'm starting to get circles under my eyes. Like I'm, you know, this is like maybe like a week before, sometimes like right before I started getting sick. But basically, I was living life. I got back from Chinese New Year, and I started getting back to work. And I got to a point where I just could barely breathe. And I was coughing all the time, started coughing things up. I'm 29, I believe at the time, 28. So I'm young. I'm not supposed to be chronically ill, but I was having chronic illness. And it started off like that. And then it got worse to where I was missing work all the time. I used all of my sick days, and they started penalizing me, just started docking my salary because I was missing so much work. And so here I am, I'm a young guy, and then I'm getting like flu-like symptoms in addition to not being able to breathe, the coughing constantly, and there's no, I just don't see a way out. So I said, okay, well, I guess I'm sick. Let me go to the doctor, especially once I started, missing a lot of the days and everything like that. So I went to a doctor, and I had to go to a translator because I was in kind of a remote area in southern China. And I'm sitting across from the doctor, and the translator is telling him my symptoms and my problems. And at the time, I couldn't speak Chinese. So it was like, I was just hoping and praying that they understood what I was saying. Well, I did a lot of tests, and I knew that they were close because I was blowing into like things that were monitoring my breathing, and they were, doing lung related things. And so I knew that they were close, if not exactly, with everything. And basically they said I had chronic bronchitis, I had severe asthma, and maybe a few other things that I couldn't understand that were lost in translation. But basically it was pretty much kind of what I thought. And so they gave me 8 medications. I said, okay, well, hey, you've got to take this medication and this one, this one, this one. And it looked almost exactly like the picture here, to where it was just a smorgasbord of medication. And it was funny because in that moment, when the doctor was telling me like how to take the medication, I had this knot in my stomach that arose. And I was like, you know what? There's something not right about this. I'm a young guy. I know things aren't going well for me right now, health-wise, but I don't think I should be taking more medication than my grandparents, So I felt like my intuition was speaking to me. But, he was the doctor. I was the sick guy, so I did it. He was looking at me, and I took the medications, and I had a horrible overdose. So I remember, I guess I went in the morning, and I went to get breakfast afterwards. And I remember like sitting there, I had to leave the breakfast restaurant, and I was just so nauseous, and everything was turning purple and like different colors. I was seeing like these wild colors, and I was just so nauseous, but I was afraid to pass out. I had this feeling that I wanted to pass out, but I was like, you know what, if I fall asleep, I might die. Like I might not wake up because I'm having an overdose. So I fought it, and I didn't let myself drift off because I wasn't sure if I was going to die or not. It just was so unclear. And so I was just so traumatized by that experience. It was so rough. I was like, you know what, my gut told me that this was wrong. And so I said, okay, I've got an inhaler. One of the medications he gave me was an inhaler. I was like, you know what, if I just can't breathe and I'm getting to a point where I'm struggling like that, I'll use the inhaler, but I'm not going to take these pills. I'm going to see what I can do to not do these pills and get over it. So I started searching and doing like the meditation like we're going to do soon, and using all my knowledge that I've learned from the fitness business with nutrition, and really started taking things serious. I did research about how NASA said that houseplants can clear the air, and I did every single thing that I could possibly do that was within my control at the time. And is amazingly, I mean, within about a month, I started making progress. I started getting better. And then I got, well enough to go back to work and start living again. And then when I got back to the US, I started going even further. And I started, getting more herbs and better diet. And I lost 20 pounds. I started getting abs. I started going to a whole nother level because the principles that I learned through this experience were life-changing. So I realized a few things, and these were the keys to my self-healing. And this is what, guys, I really want you to take away today, because you can apply this to your relationships, to your wealth. You can apply this to all other areas of your life. I was the problem, okay? I went to the doctor in a reactive way. I was reacting. I was sick, and I was reacting to my sickness. But the problem was that I wasn't living as the cause. I wasn't living deliberately. I wasn't like the picture here with the captain. I had left the helm, right? I wasn't driving. And so I was giving away that responsibility. Now, I know it's easy to do that, right? Like it's harder to take responsibility for your life, for your health. But I realized that as long as I was living in reaction, I would have to go through that doctor. That doctor was going to have to tell me what pills to take and everything like that, right? But my heart and soul knew that the problem was me, and it was how I was living, and it was the choices I was making, and it was some other factors that we're going to talk about. So that was the first huge point. And I hope if you take anything else away from today, guys, that can change your life tremendously. Just being captain again. You know, if there's certain areas of your life that you may have fell asleep at the wheel, relationship, wealth, health, whatever it is, this is your wake-up call, right? You can get back control of your life, even if it's like one step at a time, okay? But that's such a huge point. I really hope you get something from that today. The second thing I did is I started eliminating all the factors that were weakening me, okay? These were things that I was eating. These were environments. So in South China, they had, and I don't know if this is still the case. I haven't been there in several years, but smoking indoors was very common. And so I had friends that smoked a lot. You know, I wasn't smoking, but even just a secondhand smoke was a factor in my illness. Okay, so environments, you know, places I was going, maybe a cafe that I was spending time at with my friend who was smoking was maybe not all of it, but a factor in my illness. You know, I also was eating out more than I probably should have at the time. I was in China, and so, you know, some restaurants were hard for me to eat at before I was able to speak the language. So I would eat at McDonald's more than I should, right? Well, that's a factor that's making things more toxic and making me weaker. And then, you know, at the time too, I wasn't filtering my mind as much as I do now. So maybe I would watch CNN, or maybe I would, you know, watch Freddy Krueger or Jason movies, right? And it's just like all of these factors are stacking up and weakening me because they're toxic, and it just adds up over time. So the other thing that I did, again, eliminating, I'm taking control, I'm at the wheel, and I start eliminating the things that are weakening me, that are toxic. The third thing that I did is I did the opposite of the toxics. I said, well, what's going to heal me? What are healing foods? What are healing herbs? You know, what house plants can I add to my house? I can't breathe. There's pollution outside, you know, like I lived in kind of a place by some factories, another factor that was making me sick, right? So I couldn't change every little thing, but I could control certain things. And I started to control my environment. So I put houseplants in there. I stopped eating at McDonald's. I started cooking more. I started meditating more. I started putting in good mental food. And all of these things together, again, it stacks up. It's not just one thing. It's not a magic pill. You guys can't think that like there's a magic pill. That seems like the easy way, right? But it's not the way that's going to sustain your life and turn it around. So all of those three things were massive keys. And again, it's so simple. It's easy to just write this off. Say, yeah, he did it, whatever. You can do it. It's so simple and so easy. You just got to think that way. The other factor is this huge point. It's called toxic load. And basically, I was exactly like this gauge, except I was all in the red. And I was all in the red because, again, the environment, some of the stuff that I couldn't control, some of the bad choices that I was making, all of that was combining, and it was just getting to where my body couldn't heal itself because it was in the red. Okay. So if you're wanting to heal, if you're wanting to change your body, if you're wanting to change your life, you have to get out of the red and into the green. You know, you have to get your body to a place where it can detox, where it can heal itself. And so if you're saying, well, you know, I still want to drink and I still want to you know, eat these foods, you know, that you know you shouldn't be doing. Well, if you're not healing, that's why. I mean, I know again, it's too simple. But it really is that simple. You've got to move that that needle, and you've got to move it in a way that's going to heal you. Because if you're not healing and if you're stagnant, some part of your life is in the red, and some part of it is this is happening. And so you're going to have to start being deliberate, being at the wheel, and steering things where you want to go again. So this story does have a good ending. I started doing that. Like I said, I got back to the US, and then I started sharing this with other people. So I figured out a whole lot about food, a lot about herbs, a lot about the toxic things that were killing me, and a lot of the things that were healing me. And I wrote a book about it. It's called Enlightened Eating. And I started sharing it with my local community. So here's a picture of me now, through that adversity, through that challenge, being able to help the local people. And hopefully, and I know several of these people in the picture. They're testimonials for me. They're people whose lives were changed because I faced adversity and was able to rise above it, to get through it. So the invitation to you is that, how will your life look like on the other side of adversity? So what is it that you're currently going through, right? Where is your life currently in the red? And how could that look for you on the other side? Because again, that can end up being a business for you, right? For me, this was a part-time business. I was able to do seminars. I was able to do media appearance. I was able to do to profit from this, from helping people in a way that was something that almost killed me, ended up being a fantastic gift. And now my parents, who are approaching their 70s, are on 0 medications because they've applied this. My brother lost 30 pounds because he applied this information. So what is it in your life? What is your adversity that's currently kicking your butt that you can turn around and turn into your greatest gift, right? I want you to think about that in terms of your life, because that's the path of the wounded healer. That's how you're going to not only face your demons, beat them, rise above it, but then also help other people. And it can enrich your life in several ways, spiritually, materially, just across the board. So another way to look at it before we get into the meditation, you may feel overwhelmed. It's like, okay, well, I want to take control of my life. I want to get my life from the red back to the green. Well, how do I do that? Well, something that I like to say is spiral up. You can do this emotionally. You can do this practically. See, a lot of people, they say, okay, well, I want to lose 30 pounds. And then they'll say, okay, well, tomorrow I'm gonna wake up at 5 a.m. I'm gonna run 2 miles, and then they start, and then they peter out, right? It's January 22nd. I bet a lot of people have already stopped trying to get healthy this year, because the reason is they tried to go from the bottom step to the top step. And if you spiral up, if you think of things in steps, and if you do just one step at a time, one habit at a time, one change at a time, you can do it. You'll be 1,000 times more successful. But you have to orient yourself towards progress. You have to, again, you're walking up the steps, you're spiraling up, you're getting back in harmony with your golden mean, right? So you're taking yourself from wherever you're starting, the darkest, cruelest, whatever place that is that you're starting at, sickest, whatever it is, and you're saying, well, what is the next step up? How can I start to spiral up? How can I start to make progress? And if you think about things in terms of progress instead of magic pill, you will transform your life. And just make it to where you're taking one step at a time. Say, okay, I'm going to start meditating every day. Okay, 2 weeks, you meditate for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And then you add something else. And you say, okay, well, I'm meditating now. That's on my schedule. I'm doing that at the same time. Okay, well, now I'll start walking every day. So now you're walking and meditating. Okay, 2 weeks of adding the walking. Week, what is that? Week number 4, 5, or 6, you start adding something else. You say, okay, well, now I'm going to take out white carbs. Okay, so now you've got 3 healthy habits that are bringing your gauge from the red. Now maybe you're in the yellow, and if you keep doing that, you're going to be in the green, and you're going to start healing. But the whole point of all of this is that you make everything progress oriented. You make your life to where you're walking up the spiral stairs towards the light. And if you do go up or down and have some setbacks, that's fine, but think about it in these small steps and you're going to get there. So I'm going to check the chat real quick, guys. If you have any questions, now's your chance, because after this, we're going to do a meditation. Okay.
Yeah, I just was advised to go back on psych meds because of my mental illnesses, because I've been trying to deal with them through energy work, and it hasn't been helping that much.
Mm-hmm.
So, what kind of foods and herbs are you talking about that help with these kind of issues?
Okay. Not a healthcare professional, but just through my anecdotal experience, you know, it's becoming conscious of what you're doing. So, you know, what movies are you watching? What TV or news channels are you watching? Are you, you know, what are your inputs? So you want to start being aware of like your inputs that you can control, and habits as well. So how are you living? What is your, if you were able to write down your lifestyle and almost even get on, you should maybe do this. Write it on paper. Say, hey, this is what my typical day looks like. I wake up at this time, and then I do this. And then I go to this website, you know, and then I do this habit, and be real about it. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be something that you can necessarily do overnight. Again, I'm not telling you the magic pill. I'm telling you the path of the wounded healer, which is challenging and one step at a time. But again, this is lasting change. So again, start somewhere super small and super easy. And again, if you're talking about food, you asked me about food specifically. You know, processed foods have dyes, they have chemicals in them. One of the things that heals a lot of people quickly and easily is just taking processed foods out of their diet, because that affects your brain chemistry and things like that. And then if you're eliminating something, you know, what can you add? So are you getting outside? Are you getting sunlight every day? Are you, you know, are you working out 3 times a week or more? Are you walking every day? Like just maybe pick one thing from both sides, something to eliminate and something to add, and then start there. And then you'll start to build confidence and self-discipline by sticking to that, by checking that box every day. And then you spiral up. So then you take the next step, just like I was describing. Does that help?
Yeah, thanks. I've actually started using Kachava. I don't know if you heard of that. The protein shake.
Okay.
Just trying to cut out some processed foods. Because I can't really afford the organic stuff. But I've started exercising and I'm getting outside more. So yeah, I've been doing things like that.
Okay. I mean, you can start meditating every day. You can use our YouTube archives. Again, just see what is something that you can add, and then be more open about, hey, you know what? I have been doing this bad habit. I've been staying up too late, or I've been, you know, on this negative website, and then seeing where you can make swaps. Where can you replace some of that attention? Because that's going to be where you're going to make the strides. And just keep going. You're doing great if you're doing the things that you're saying. So just keep walking up those stairs.
All right, thanks.
Okay. So now what we want to do in the next maybe 10 to 15 minutes is what's called the next step of the level up meditation. And so basically what this is a meditation that I was doing when I didn't know what to do. So in that time in China, when I know I didn't want to take those medications, but I didn't want to die, and I knew I needed to move forward, it's like, well, what do I do? This is how I would do this practice every day, especially early on. And this helped me to find the next thing, to find the next book, to find the next step, to find the NASA research. So once I started doing this and really hearing my own answers, right? Versus being reactive and letting everybody else tell me, I also was putting time in to get my own answers. And this is where a lot of the book came from. This is where a lot of inspiration came from. It was just letting spirit reveal the next step. And everybody can do this. It's not that complicated. So that's the thing we're going to do next. I'm going to share my music, and you want to get prepared to meditate. I know you might be fired up from all the talking, but hopefully you can relax a little bit now too. So here we go. Let's meditate. Okay, so now you want to sit back relax. And start to shift. So you want to allow your energy to go internally. You can go ahead and take a deep breath. And breathe out, allowing your shoulders to drop. And quickly scan your body, starting at your scalp and relaxing your scalp. Relax your eyes, the muscles in your face, your jaw. Allowing your energy, your attention to go inwards. Relaxing your neck. Relaxing your shoulders. Let the relaxation flow down your arms, to your elbows, all the way to your fingertips. Allowing the relaxation to flow down your chest and back, on your stomach and low back. You can take a deep breath and allow all of your internal organs to also just chill out for a little bit. Allow the relaxation to flow into your hips, your bottom, down your thighs, past your knees, all the way down your calves to your feet. If you need to take another breath to let everything go, go ahead and do that now. Being more aware of your body with your energy and attention inward. You can imagine roots going from the bottom of your feet and from your bottom of your spine all the way deep into the earth. Deep, deep into the center of the earth. Finding, rooting, and grounding you. Allow yourself to receive the nourishment of Mother Earth, that supportive, loved energy, that belonging energy. Allow yourself to be aware and feel that groundedness, that lovingness, that nurturing now. You're safe in your place. And allow your attention to come up your body, up your spine, all the way to the top of your head. And you want to bring your attention well above your head to the light from above. So raise your attention 200, 300, 500 feet if you must, and beyond. And allow the light from above to enter your crown, enlightening you, lightening your being, expanding you. And you want to breathe into this energy, allowing those energies from above and below to meet in perfect harmony and balance in your heart. But know that you are safe and that all is well here and now. So from this expanded place and allowing yourself to breathe slower, allowing yourself to slow down and lean into this expanded place even more. What you want to do is, despite any problem, despite anything currently going on in your external world, can you allow yourself to let go? Can you allow yourself in general to let go even more and allow life to flow to you and through you? But can you allow your resistance and the resistances that you feel to evolve, to dissolve, and evaporate? To fade away. And can you allow yourself to come into deeper harmony with yourself, into a richer flow? Finding your golden mean, finding your perfect balance. And can you allow yourself to vibrate higher? Anything in the way of that, can you breathe into it? And can you let it go? The next step or the next level is allowing your energy to rise and expand above the problem or any limitation that you are currently experiencing. So can you allow yourself now to let your energy rise, to let your energy expand? And can you become bigger than your circumstances? In your heart, can you become bigger than any problem, than any issue, than anything? And if you don't know how to do it, can you allow yourself to receive the answer? So this is the art of allowing. We're letting the bigger part of ourselves, the bigger thing that we're all connected to, speak through us, to us. Can you allow yourself to know, to expand, and rest in this knowingness? So I'm going to give you a moment now to receive your guidance, your wisdom. So allow your energy to continue to rise. Allow yourself to feel the collective, empowered energy of the group. And feel your guidance, feel your answer. I will be quiet now and let you hear that. Continuing to breathe deeply, slowly, fully awake, yet fully relaxed. And allow yourself to know in this space your worthiness, your safety, to know that you are loved and that you are loved. To know well-being, prosperity, abundance, abundant life, an unlimited flow. Allow yourself to know this now, to feel into this, to remain expanded, relaxed and expanded, and knowing your next step, your next level. It can come as a symbol, it can come as an insight, intuition. knowing what the next best thing for you to do is from this lighter, expanded place where you're bigger than any problem. So taking what you've received from your higher self, taking this energy, this comfort, allow this now, this peacefulness, to permeate every cell in your body. Allowing the light from above and the nurturing from below to rejuvenate every cell in your body, to empower every cell in your body and beyond, to fill your heart and soul with love, light, and energy and joy. So taking this joy, taking this light, taking this well-being, can you now give this to your community? Can you shine this out from you? Because your cup is full. Can you allow this overflow to positively impact your community, the people around you, your family, your neighbors? Imagining the light expanding to encompass your state, your province, allowing these good vibrations, these good feelings to cover your country and join with other light bubbles of the other light warriors around the world. Can you now begin to see the globe, the world, encompassed in light? Unlimited, empowered, strong, and healthy. So basking in this one final time, expanded, knowing all is well, you can begin to slowly return to your body, or your body awareness. You can begin to wiggle your fingers and toes a little bit. Keep your eyes closed for now if you want, but feel your body again and notice the state that you were in. And know that you have the power to change your state. So no matter where you are on the staircase, like we talked about earlier, know that you can return to an expanded state like this. You can listen to a recording of a talk like this and return there and to keep making progress. So settling now into your body, feeling your bottom, feeling your arms, feeling your entire body, moving your fingers and toes. When you're ready, you can gently open your eyes and return back to the room.